watching from. And if you're just joining, I drink water out of country jars, so don't be alarmed. Hi, loves. Hey, Atlanta. I actually will be in Atlanta in a minute. I'll be there soon. I'm really excited about it. I'm so excited about it. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Send it to a friend. Because today we're going to be closing out the Womb Truth series. Now, I did this earlier this week, but for some reason, TikTok messed up the sound, and it was so good, I had to do it again. So I'm going to thank you so much for this gift. So I'm going to do it again for you guys. And then I'm going to tell you about next week's theme and what I'm going to be tapping into and what we're going to be doing, okay? Thank you so much for these gifts. As you guys are coming in, let me know where you're watching from. Because as you know, I'm a digital nomad, so I travel. And who knows, I might just be in your city or your country. Yeah, that's the type of time that I'm on. I've been a digital nomad for about going on 16 months now. And out of the last 15 months, I've traveled. 16 months, I have traveled 14 of those months. I have been in 14 different places, or been in those places twice or more, because I've enjoyed them. Hey, San Francisco. I was supposed to go to San Francisco last June, but I had to revamp. And I'm considering coming back out. Okay. Where's everybody else from? Yes, honey, the digital nomad lifestyle is definitely the move and the vibe. If you are a woman who loves the freedom of that, it's definitely doable. And it's not difficult to do. People make it sound like it's so hard to do. It's not. And like I was telling a lot of women, last time I checked, there was 17.9 million digital nomads that were actually living in the United States. And worldwide, the population of digital nomads, 49% are women. So definitely very doable. And then on top of that, the median salary or the median amount of money, which is like the average amount of money that people are making as digital nomads starts at $99,000. So, and I've built a 6-figure company while being a digital nomad. So definitely doable. And I support my clients in learning how to do so. Absolutely, you can do that as a single mom that not only homeschool, you would be world schooling. Okay? So you'd be world schooling your children, which is very powerful. And with everything going on with Project 2025, I personally, if I had children, I would be fighting to do everything I can to, give my babies what they need, because society don't care. But anywho, for those who do not know me, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine mastery architect. And what I do is that I ignite high-performing women to master their emotions, activate their feminine energy for unparalleled creativity, productivity, and income growth. Okay? So basically, I support my clients in becoming more aligned with their feminine design so that they can utilize their cycles in order to master their emotions, so that they can increase their productivity, and so that they can make more money because they can create better from a healthier space. So I support my clients in doing that. I have built my business from the ground up without hustling to 6 figures. I have supported my clients in going from 5 figures to 6 figures, from 6 figures to multi-6 figures. I absolutely love the work that I do, because the women that I work with, those women are leaders, they're self-led, and they also know that they were created to be bigger than what society deems them as what they should be. And so I love working with women who understand that they've been called for more, and they may not necessarily have the tools or the different things they need to be able to get more. So I support them in being able to do so by helping them get in alignment. Because here's the reality. When you get in alignment, There's attraction. There's a high level attraction that takes place when you are in alignment because you are at a higher vibrational state. When you're at a state that's higher and you're attracting and it's attracting spaces or attracting opportunity, attracting spaces and places and people from a space of love, peace, and joy. It's a better experience. It's a more sustainable experience versus you trying to attract something while being in a state of anxiousness or being in a state of fear. Okay, so I support you in understanding really how to alchemize your time and your energy so that it goes in the right direction, so that you are making more money, so that you're able to take that money and create the life you really desire, so that you can place yourself in healthier environments where you're able to attract the type of individuals and the type of friends and suitors that you actually desire. It all starts with you doing your work within you. And so you have to make a decision to get into alignment with who you are, and you have to be willing to release some things. And we really struggle as women to release, but we always want to receive. In order to receive, you're going to have to release. That's feminine principle, okay? So today I'm going to be talking specifically about why your creativity is stuck and how healing your womb from survival mode is really the key for you to get out of a space of doing everything the hard way. I'm going to be real honest. We as women tend to do things a very hard way or a very difficult way because we don't listen the first time. We don't listen to the one that created us. We don't listen to our own bodies. We don't pay attention to the signs of our nervous system. We don't pay attention to how we feel in certain environments to make wise decisions based in faith, because we lack belief. When you lack belief that you are going to be taken care of, when you lack belief and you say the things like, oh, I'm a believer, when you lack belief in the one created you, the one that created you, you lack the ability to believe that this creator is going to take care of you and make sure that you are good. You position yourself to be dependent on human beings. You position yourself to be dependent on corporations. You position yourself to become codependent on society to validate who you are. You making it here to this earth is enough validation. You don't need the approval of anyone else. You need to get in alignment so you can get on assignment so you can execute what it is that you're here to execute. Because it's only your uniqueness that can actually execute that. And we are very much so afraid to step into a space of creativity because it's unknown and nobody in our family has ever done this before. I am the first of many firsts. I am the oldest daughter. I am the first one to graduate college, first one to get graduate school degree, the first one to start a business, the first one to hit 6 figures in her business. Like, I am a first of first of first. And if you are truly a cycle breaker, and if you are truly, people love to call themselves the black sheep of the family. If you truly are about standing on business, then get serious about your assignment so you can live the life you really want to live instead of settling for the life that you have right now. Because the only reason you don't have the life that you want is because you're not making the decisions in the direction that's going to get you there. And some of us don't know what those decisions look like. And that's okay. But it's about you being honest and real about where you are so that you can get yourself to the next level. And so in this era that we are in, and I have said this and I have said this and it is being projected, they're saying that the creator economy is going to be a $250 billion industry by the year, I think they said like either 2030 or 2036. Either way it goes, those years are not that far away. When I literally sat down and did the math that 1994 was 30 years ago, that's crazy work to me. Because I remember 94 like yesterday. So when you are hearing 2030 and 2036, that is not that far away. Okay? So what you have to understand and be very clear on is that if you want your piece of the pie from this billion-dollar creative economy that is literally already here, you're going to have to learn how to access your creativity. You're going to have to learn how to tap into your real gifts, or you are not going to thrive in this society that's coming, because everything is based on creativity. Are you not paying attention to what's happening in AI? Are you not paying attention what is happening with what they're speaking about with Project 2025? Are you not aware of what is happening of Project, I'm sorry, I think it's the 2045 initiative where they're working on these robots. You're not going to be able to outwork a robot, and you will not be able to outwit AI. Okay? Yes, it is, Kennedy. You will not be able to outwit AI. You are going to have to do something so original, so innovative, that's so attractive that money and opportunity is going to follow you, because money follows value. It ain't following your degrees no more. See, all this stuff, a lot of these universities and schools finna close down. Let me just tell y'all. You already seeing it. These institutions are going to close down, because let me tell you something. The minute that they start allowing the masses to obtain something such as education or degrees or all these different type of things, the more access you have to something, the less value it has. These degrees, you can basically throw them in the trash unless you have one that directly positions you as a immediate need in this society. Exactly. They about to get rid of the Department of Education. These people are on a roll. Y'all not paying attention. And okay, I wasn't even going to do all this, but Most High, I'm going to let it rip. I want you to pay attention to the pattern. One of the gifts that I have is that I am a seer. I see in the form of patterns. So let me go ahead and break down a pattern for you that I have seen that has literally been taking place in front of our eyes. And I'm trying to put you back in the game so you don't be in survival mode in this era, so you actually can thrive. Let's start back to when we were kids. I'm a millennial, so I'm 40. So when I was in elementary school, I remember being in art. I remember writing my first poem when I was in 3rd grade. I became a published poet because of that, because the school cultivated the arts for me. That was a form of escape for me. Slowly but surely, they started to take away creative initiatives that were in school, such as art, such as music, such as all kind of different things. They started to slowly but surely snatch away children's ability to expand their imaginations. Why? Because if you have an expanded imagination, there's not many things that you can't create. That would keep you in a creative mode. And if you were able to create so much, you wouldn't be able to obey, because you would have an expanded mind. So they have slowly but surely been taking these things out of the school system for a while now. And they have been making our children worker bees and setting them up for the pipeline to prison, the pipeline to slavery. That is literally what has been happening when they took everything from the schools. And so now our children are less creative. All they do is literally get on the computer. They don't really have enough creative abilities. These kids wouldn't know what to do if you turn the lights off. These children, a lot of them that have come through this system, they have grown up into a worker bee slave system. And this society has been planning for a long time, because they knew that everything was going to become innovative and about creation. And they stopped our children from being able to get a part of that pie. And what I'm telling you right now, I'm trying to put you on game and let you know, is that if you don't tap back into your creativity, you will not thrive in this era, because everything is about innovation, creativity, originality. These people are running out of ideas. That's why they're hacking your phones, listening to your conversations, and creating shows from your drama. This is why you continue to see movies being made over and over again, because there is absolutely no originality and creativity. They using us now. Y'all ain't watched, what's that show? I think it's Black Mirror. Y'all haven't seen these things being played out in real time. They have no creativity, so they are stealing ours and putting it out there right in front of your face. And they're telling you to keep working hard and keep doing this, knowing that they are creating operations and vehicles and vessels that will outwork you, such as robots, such as AI. And if you are not in connection with the one that created you, how creative are you going to be in a society that suppresses you, that literally wrecks your nervous system on purpose so you can depend on that system? Your creativity is stuck, and you are literally in a whirlwind. You're in a whirlwind, beloved. You're in a whirlwind. And you think you're going to work hard and make money. You think you're going to work hard and you're going to build yourself into generational wealth. Oh, the lies they tell. We all been bamboozled, tricked. If you don't get in your creative bag, you're going to miss your piece of a pie of a $250 billion projected industry. Your hard work is going to mean nothing. And that's what's going to cause people to have a breakdown, because people don't realize that they're going to feel like they did all this work and they went to school and they got it right and they did everything right and the American dream didn't work out for them. And that's going to cause people to have a lot of breakdowns when they realize they've been outpriced to live. And everything that they have worked so hard to attain, none of it actually is of any real value. Because here's the truth. The real value has always been within you. But the trick of society is to get you to outwork yourself so that you don't realize that the real value is you. Because the real value is time, energy, attention, and money. And all of those things are things that you are made up out of, myself included. You are made up of time, which is Kairos time and Chronos time. You have the time that you're here to be on this earth. These people have calculated the time that you are here to be on this earth, and they have put in a crazy amount of years of tax on your life that you need to work for them, because they know after a certain age bracket it's hard to mold your mind. They know after 60, you see, they trying to push the age from 65 from retirement to 70, because these are the things. People are starting to expand their mind and come into truth. Oh, they don't want you to do that though. But they know it's going to be a lot harder for you to mold your mind at 70. It's going to be a lot harder for you to change your habits and shift your reality at 60, after 65. And if you don't believe me, look at your stubborn parents. Look at your stiff-necked parents that we now are having to take care of like they are children because they don't want to listen. So it's very hard to shift the mind and the reality of a person who is over the age of 65, and society knew that, which is why they taxed all of your years the way that they did, so that you wouldn't create a reality that you actually could thrive in, and that you actually could, you would have to actually depend on them. You would always have to depend on them. They took your creativity and the creative initiatives away to block you. And it created blocks within your body. And not only can you not produce and create, but you can't even reproduce now because they've overworked you. They've overworked you to a state to where you can't reproduce. And you yourself are a creative product created by the one that created you, because you have innate value. You have time, energy, attention, and money within you. You are the innate value, but these corporations caught on to the fact that you are valuable, and then they told you you weren't. And then they made you compete for positions, which made you even more anxious, which made you even more stressed at these positions and these jobs. They did this on purpose because you're easily controlled, because now you're dependent. Because you can't create anything else for yourself. That's what they tell you. But it's when you understand that you are time, you are energy, you are attention, you are money. You don't sacrifice yourself for these things. You steward these things, and then you learn how to expand these things. Okay? When you understand that you are time, you understand that there are going to be times in your life that are going to be ups and downs. You understand that the seasons of life. So this is why you don't fall into the whole mindset of, oh, all you got to do is think positive. It's not the way it works. It's about you knowing how to transmute your energy when things happen to you so you don't get stuck there. You ever meet a person that loses someone that's so close to them, and they get so stuck in that place that they never seem to come out? A lot of alcoholics and drug addicts, I've heard conversations, because I've worked in a multitude of areas, because before I was a feminine mastery architect, I was a social worker. And I worked in a multitude of areas, and a lot of drug addicts would talk about how they would use that to escape, to be able to see their grandmother's faces or see their mother's faces or different things like that, because they just wanted to remember her face in that space. Some people, some tragedies happen, and it keep people stuck. And what I have noticed is that if you do not have tools to transmute that energy from pain to progression, you will get stuck. And sometimes when we get stuck, we get self-destructive when we get stuck on the wrong vibrational level. When we get stuck on a vibrational level of shame, we do shameful things to ourselves. When we get stuck on a vibrational state of guilt, we do things, horrible things to ourselves. This is what happens when you don't understand how to transmute that energy from when you're in pain to progression. Forward progression at that. When you understand that you are time, you don't waste time. When you understand that you are chronos time, that you may understand that you got a certain amount of time to be here, but you never know when you slip up. You never know when your card is going to be pulled, so you're not going to waste time in dead-end relationships and dead-end jobs with dead-end friendships. We're not doing that. Why? Because you never know when your time card is going to be pulled. So that's number one. You also understand and respect the Kairos time, which is the seasons of your life, because you understand how to transmute your energy from pain to progression. You also understand that you are energy. So as a woman who understands that she is energy, the energy that she gives from her heart is kind, it is nurturing, it is receptive. That energy is to be protected. You should not be out here always talking about how you're attracting narcissistic behaviors and narcissistic people and people who drain you. If you are consistently attracting these type of people into your experience, it's because you are mismanaging your own divine energy because you don't understand that it's divine. You don't know you have the God frequency because you would not even give these people the time of day. If you did, if you live by the spiritual understanding of Luke 17:21, when you knew the kingdom of heaven is within you, you would act like it and you would allow yourself to be treated like a queen instead of a peasant. You would not allow yourself to be treated beneath. You would not give your energy in spaces and places into people that would drain it or devalue it because you understand the energy is divine. And we don't waste divine energy. That's just not what we do. Because divine energy has its purpose. It has its place. It does not belong in the hands of people, organizations, friendships, men that don't know what to do with it, that cannot give you a great return on your investment of your energy. When you start asking questions like, am I going to get a great return on my time by doing this? You'll start making some different decisions. When you start asking, is it going to amplify my energy or is it going to drain my energy to be in this experience continuously? You'll start doing some things differently. When you start asking, because I understand that I am attention, and when I focus my attention somewhere, wherever I focus my attention, that's where my energy is going to go, and that is where my time is going to go, and that is going to impact the money and how it flows. When you realize that principle, you'll make sure that you pay attention to you. Let me tell you how women lose the plot. Let me tell you how we lose the plot as women. We get in relationships, we get married, we have children, and then we use those as excuses of why we are not top priority and why we are not pouring into our own wells and why we are not taking responsibility for our well-beings and our health. You blame your husband, your man, your children, your job for not putting yourself first. You claim that's why you don't have time. You claim that's why you don't have energy. You claim that's why you can't focus, when the truth is you lost focus of you and you dropped the bag. You. That ain't your baby fault. That ain't your man fault. That ain't your husband fault. Nobody told you to give up your existence for another one just because you gained a new role. What you do is that you build stamina up so that you can sustain in these roles. You continue to fuel the woman who fills these roles. You don't stop taking care of you because you got a husband. Are you insane? And then when he leave you, you want to blame him and say he used you and took your years and your energy and your time when you played yourself, because nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you simply were not paying attention. So get in line where you fit in line, beloved, because it's on you. Because you are time, you are energy, you are attention. And nobody can waste any of those things. They have to be given those things from you to be able to waste anything that belongs to you. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. That's on you. See, because wherever your attention goes, that's where your energy flows. So here's the thing. The reason why you got played by the man that you didn't like is because you gave him too much attention. It's because you got bored and you wanted to go out and you wanted to feel something. But because you didn't get bored enough to take action in your own life, to make an elevating, amplifying decision for your own self, you chose to involve someone else. So your intentions weren't pure, and the universal algorithm recognized that your intentions were not pure. And because you went over there just to bypass time, he actually got your attention the more time you gave. And because of the more attention you gave, when you would give something your attention, the easier it is for your emotions to be manipulated. Because guess what? That's how you end up liking somebody you didn't like. And they end up playing you because you gave them your attention. And anything that has your attention has the ability to manipulate your energy and motion. And by definition, emotions is energy in motion. So you allowing yourself to give your attention away allowed you to be manipulated, which caused you to waste your time. And you still ain't got no money. You want to be a teammate to somebody else, but you're not even in connection with your own team. Your time, your energy, your attention, or your money, baby. That's crazy work. That's the work of an insane woman. Now you done got played by somebody you ain't even like, all because you was bored. Crazy. And some of y'all get pregnant in the space of being bored. Crazy. We making life decisions, powerful decisions, lineage decisions because we are bored. You need to activate your creativity. Because we doing the most and getting the least. And I hate it for us. I hate it for us. You are also money. That mentality that they have been feeding us for the last 15 years or so about scamming men to get money, using men to get money, whoring yourself out to get money, has been a scam to get you to be tricked out of yourself, and it worked. Let me tell you how it worked. When you understand that you are money and that you are the one that actually has the value, so that because you understand that you have the value, you can actually create external value. When you get that principle about yourself, you create external. But when you don't understand that, you whore yourself out. You use a man as a job or a plan to get you ahead because you don't understand that you're the value of money. You working at a job where you closed a whole bunch of money in sales. You did that. You closed all those deals in sales, but you got to go scam somebody to get some money. The programming that has been taught to you and taught to us ain't working for the celebrities that was selling it. Are you looking at their love lives? Are they living a life that you really are in alignment with and that you really want for yourself? Is that the desires of your heart? Then why are you listening to that programming that ain't even real? Because here's what's real. All that money they've been telling y'all to get money, according to Google and according to just facts on facts, money is made up of 75% cotton, 25% linen. So when you whore yourself out for $100 bill, you're not that far off from the plantation because it's cotton. It's cotton. See, they took us off one plantation and placed us in another. Some of us are so poor, all we do is chase money. All we do is have money. Money is cotton. Money is 75% cotton, 25% linen. You can go look it up. It has not had gold backing. There is no backing to the dollar, to the U.S. dollar, and has not been since 1970. I ain't even going to get on there because they're going to block me. But ain't no backing. It's freaking cotton. Don't sell your soul for cotton. How cheap. How beneath you. You sell yourself for a robe you could wear. You sell yourself for a t-shirt. All because you don't understand that you have creative and witty inventions in your very being, according to Proverbs 8 and 12, meaning that you have inventions within you. Y'all ain't finna get none of this $250 billion creative economy, and y'all sitting with creative and witty inventions in your very being, and you're choosing to be a slave somewhere else. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. It's crazy work. And you won't do it really because you really don't believe, because you're scared. Even crazier. Your gifts will make room for you if you tap into them. And when you understand that you are the value, you will then understand that you are a gift. And then once you realize that you are a gift at your job, as a business owner, in that relationship, in that friendship, when you understand that you are the gift, you will show up every single day present for yourself in the highest of the highest of the highest ways. Okay? So everybody put in the comments for me, I am high level currency, because I need you to understand your value. Y'all, I'm looking out this window. Pause. Put that in the comments for me. But I think I just saw this freaking duck, and I hope he didn't fall in this ditch. He fell hard. Jesus. And I love animals. So I'm trying to make sure he gonna get up. Just you see me, I'm looking out the window like a nosy old lady for real. I'm real life for it. All I need is some glasses and and some wine. Cause I'm trying to make sure they baby make it out all right. Lord. I am high level currency. I am high level currency. I'm high level. Okay, the duck is good. We vibe. All right. Y'all, I hate seeing the animal down. I get sad in my soul. Okay, and he flew off. All right, we good. Okay, good. We back. Thank you so much. All praises to the Most High. Anything that good is good that comes from me. Trust me, it comes from the one that created me, child. It is not me. Okay? Because I play too much sometimes. And I have to reel myself back in too. So this journey is a life journey, y'all. I ain't got it all together. I'm not perfect. But I am who I am. And I'm very assured of myself. And you can't play with me. To play me is to play yourself. Because I can't be played. Because nobody can play me without my participation, my permission, or the fact that I'm not paying attention. And I'm always paying attention. Spiritually, biologically, and psychologically, I'm always present because I understand that I am a gift, and I want you all to understand that same thing about yourselves. Okay? All right, but for those who are joining, who are late, y'all are good timing. I'm talking about why your creativity is stuck. Healing the womb from survival mode. All week I've been doing these womb truths. So it's like so fun. Oh, this is crochet hair, honey. This is I'm gonna put a link in the bio because a lot of people been asking me, so I'm putting a link in the bio for it. But it's crochet. But I've been talking about womb truths and how it has to do with your creativity and how important it is when it comes down to you making money. So for those who are joining, I'm El Antoinette. I ignite high-performing women leaders to master their emotions, activate their feminine energy for unparalleled creativity, productivity, and income growth. So I support my amazing clients in aligning with their authentic feminine designs, supporting them in syncing with their cycles so they can master their emotions and their emotional responses so that they can become so energetic, sparked with creativity, and it ups levels their productivity, which puts them in position to make more money. This has supported my clients and going from 5 figures to 6 figures and from 6 figures to multi 6 figures. And I built my business from the ground up with no hustle. That's the best way I can do it. I didn't hustle. Like the first six figures is hard, but it's not the hard you think. People make it harder than what it has to be. Like they be hustling. I ain't hustling. I did it the smart way. They had their period. It had its periods of difficulty, as any business does. But if I can do it, trust me, you can do it. Believe you me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. She is really, yeah, I do. My hair's down my back. If you know me in real time, that's why I always keep my hair in crochet. I wear my hair out maybe 3 months out of the year, but yeah, my hair's down my back. So everybody knows. That's since I was a kid. But so anyway, I'm gonna be talking about, like I said, why your creativity is stuck and how healing your womb from survival mode will really support you in that. One thing about me, I need you to understand and know is that everything that you get from me is going to come from scripture, science, and psychology. I absolutely love reading scripture and dissecting it. I love finding the science to back up what's there, and I also like finding the psychological patterns that reveal themselves in the process. So a part of what I'm going to be speaking about today, when you hear people speak about, one of the things that I like to do too is when people call things a certain thing or label things a certain thing, I'm not immediately stuck on, oh my goodness, that's witchcraft, or oh my goodness, that's wrong, oh my goodness, that's right. I am a person who is going to get the information. I'm going to thoroughly investigate it. I'm going to compare it to scripture. I don't just read scripture in the Bible. Be very clear. I also am reading the Apocryphal. I go all the way back. I read scripture, baby. The lost books, all of that. So I go back and I dissect those things so that I can bring forth and make sure that those things are true. Because there's a lot of tradition that's being put out there and people ain't really doing no research and people ain't reading. And it's a lot of things that we are holding on to honor dead people, and we should not. We should be honoring the one that created us. That's your deepest relationship. So I literally say it's very important for you to build that relationship more than anything so that you can understand how you operate and how you are. So why you wear fake hair then? Do I want to make an example or do I want to block you? It's Friday. Let me see how I'm feeling right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and block you because I ain't gonna make an example today. Because you're not here for what you need to be here for. So let me help you. All right. Because, child, look, I don't got time. I don't feel like it. You can go on my page and see. Pick somebody else to play with. I don't. Child. Yeah. Because I ain't got it. Okay? I just ain't got it today. And baby, if you know me, I can read. Okay? So... do you mean our mothers when you say the one that created us a God? No, I don't believe that our mothers created us. I believe that we were formed in our mother's womb. And even when you look at the process of formation, it happens in the mother's womb. So I don't believe you were created there. I believe that you were created in the process of creation with the Almighty Creator that actually created you. Okay? So... all right, so let's go ahead and get into this, right? I told you guys that you're high level currency. I also want you guys to know that your belief impacts your biology and your biology influences the way you behave. So, and we're going to dive deep more into that. And I'll tell you the success part, the success strategy system that I utilize and I teach my clients and I weave into all of my products and services because it's very important if you want to sustain. I basically support women in a space of self-mastery. Okay? So feminine design mastery is my specialty. If you want to be in that space where you want to master, that's where we at. If you're wanting to create the life you desire, I got you. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and get straight into this. So the way that you're going to find out whether or not your womb is in survival mode is by seeing if you pass the bar exam. The bar exam consists of, and it's not the bar exam that attorneys take. It's called really the bar assessment that I created. And it's your behavioral ability, your receptivity, and behavioral, your ability, your receptivity, and your results assessment. So this is showing you in these key areas around your behavior, your ability, how you receive, and your results. That's what you're going to assess to see if you are in survival mode, okay? Survival mode is being in a space of lack, okay? And I always tell people all the time, when you come from a space of being in survival mode, that means that you have the mindset that you can't do, you can't have, or there's something blocking you. I don't have, and this is probably about to piss some people off, but I don't care. I don't have conversations about how people of other races or how men are holding me back from making money or from living my best life. I don't have those kind of problems. I'm going to say it again. I don't have those kind of problems. I don't argue with men about being paid well. I enter into spaces where my value is appreciated and I am simply paid well. Point blank, period, the end. I am not arguing with patriarchy. I am not arguing with other races. None of that matters, honestly. I am a daughter of the creator of this entire universe, world, existence. You mean to tell me that there's not a pathway that's not carved out for me? That I gotta fight somebody to get ahead? Are you insane? Y'all be out here fighting when you could just simply get in alignment. You're gonna pay me what I'm worth. No, there is no pay that can cover your actual worth. When you say that, that's you understand it. You don't understand it, your real worth. You don't understand your value. No one can pay a price for your worth. Understand your value, okay? Amplify that value, then articulate that value, and you will attract value because money is attracted to value. Money ain't coming to you because money's not attracted to you and you're not creative enough. You're boring. You're being like everyone else instead of being yourself. You literally were beautifully, uniquely, and wonderfully made, but you are listening to guidance from someone who does not even understand your design. You are beautifully, uniquely made, and you won't step into the fullness of who you are because you're worried about what somebody else is going to say. That's crazy. Okay? So first and foremost, here's the things that you need to understand. Okay? Number one, your behavior is directly correlated to what you believe about yourself. I'm going to say it again. Your behavior is directly correlated to what you believe about yourself. And I'll just use this example because a lot of us grew up in church and a lot of us grew up in the Christian faith. You know, a lot of us did, right? Not everyone. But for many of those who grew up in the Christian faith, fear was driven home to be able to get you to do things and to obey God or to come to church and do these things. You have been threatened with hell. So every time you made a decision or you made a choice that appeared to go against what you've been taught, you learned to internalize shame and guilt. Tell me I'm lying. I'll wait for the ones who went to church all the time. I grew up Baptist, by the way, so I get it. The anxiety you feel within your chest after you made a decision that makes you feel like you're going to hell because of the training that you've received. And that literally rippled your body with fear, and it taught you to fear the one in a way where you were scared of him or scared of the creator, instead of understanding that the real fear that should have been happening should have been the fear of just reverence and honoring understanding that you don't know everything, honoring and understanding that you are not the Almighty One, honoring and understanding that the gifts that come from you are just not because of you, but because you were actually gifted with these things. That's the real fear, the reverence. But they taught us to be afraid, and those beliefs impacted the way that we behave, which is why we got sneaky, which is why a lot of us currently, the millennials, because we really went through it with that, why a lot of us live double lives. It's why a lot of us struggle with shame and we try to hide our real identity because we were taught to close off because that wasn't right. So now all of that training and all of those beliefs that you received when you were a child, your behavior is a direct correlation to those things about what you believe about yourself. And because you believe these things about yourself, you don't move. They told you the only way that you could get a good living and have the American dream was to go to college, get a good job as soon as you got out of college, get a house, get married, get a white picket fence, get a car, get a dog, This is what they told us to do, right? This is what we believed. Why do you think so many millennials became depressed after 2008 when the first recession hit, and they realized, because I graduated in that frame too, and they realized that it was all a lie? There was no good job. They were not paying us well. It was harder for us to be able to get houses because everything had gotten so expensive. Okay? So because of this training, we're depressed because we didn't get what we thought. We didn't get our piece of the pie. Now, and a lot of people saying talk about Gen X and boomers. I'm going to tap on that, but I want to give you a perspective about Gen X and boomers because I don't even want to sit in a space of blame, because here's the thing with them. They did what they were trained. See, Gen X came, the boomers, Gen X. Gen X did exactly what they were trained to do, just like the boomers did exactly what they were trained to do. My mother is in the area, she's in her 60s, so she's in one of those brackets, and she was taught that education was the way. Because my lineage isn't that far off from picking cotton. My mother walked through cotton fields. So for them, education was the way out. This was being trained to them. You do this. And so what did my mother train me to do? She trained me to achieve and to go far and to do this education wise. I can't get mad at her for telling me what she was trained. We all been bamboozled. Every generation has been bamboozled. Blaming one or the other really ain't gonna help. We all have been, exactly. The silent generation went through so much hell and trauma. Those are the people that raised Gen X to say things like, what goes on in my house stays in my house. They got trained. I'm not mad at them. Listen, I'm mad at society, baby. See, I know what time it is. When you understand this, it's the systems, and we are not working against flesh and blood, we working against principalities, you'll know who to really get mad at. You'll really know where to place that energy. You'll really know how to transmute that anger of understanding truth into powerful progression to shift your own reality. That's how you change the game. That's how you change the game. That's how you pick up the plot again. Ain't no point of blame. I can't blame Gen X. I can't blame the boomers. I know the training. You got to understand the underline. Follow the money. Because let me tell you something. Where there is bloodshed, there is money when it comes down to this earth. You better know it. All this shedding that's happening all over the world, there is money attached to all of that. That's how they view us. We are expendable. We are replaceable. We are not valued by what is actually happening here. And when you begin to understand that, you will stop blaming your job, your mama, your sister, your daddy, everyone else. You will realize, and you will hack your own sim. You will hack your own sim and come out the matrix. You ain't coming out the matrix. You ain't breaking out the matrix without hacking your sim, because that's the key. How do you hack your sim? You hack your subconscious mind, which contains your thoughts. Your S is your subconscious mind. Your I, your subconscious thoughts around your identity. These people told you who you are. You need to know who you are so you know how to move. You don't know who you are, which is why you don't know how to move, which is why you are a slave to their systems. You don't know what to do. You don't know who you are. You don't know your power. You have been living an entire life where the whole world has known your value, but they have banked on you not knowing your value, which is why they do not encourage you to be so worthy of certain opportunities and experiences, when in reality you were built and created for these things. But when you don't hack your sim, your subconscious mind, when you don't hack your sim, your subconscious thoughts around your identity, when you don't hack your sim, the aspect of mastery around your design and yourself, you will stay stuck in the matrix. That's the truth. That's why you are where you are. Because number one, you behave the way you do because it is directly correlated with what you believe about yourself. Period. You stay at that job, you stay in that relationship, you stay in that friend group because you don't think that you will have access or you are going to get anything else. So you settle for a life beneath you instead of stepping into the boldness and creating the one that can be yours. That's why you behave the way you do. Because your behavior is correlated to what you believe about yourself. That's number one. So when we're talking about this bar assessment that is assessing your behavior, do you like your behavior? Do you like what you see in front of your life? Because what you see in your life, the people, the experiences, the opportunities, all of these things that you are attracting, all of these things reflect your feed. They reflect what you like, engage, and comment on. The algorithm, the greatest algorithm of all time, is not on TikTok, it's not on Instagram, it's not on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg hasn't figured it out. No one can figure it out, which is why they keep mimic it with all of these systems. The greatest algorithm of all time is the universe, which is created by the Almighty One. When you understand that that is the greatest, and I do mean the greatest responder of all time, okay? When you really grasp that concept, you'll begin to be slow to what you think about. You'll begin to be slow about what you give your energy to, because the universe is an algorithm created by the Most High that responds to your thoughts, your energy, your actions, your effort. You will know them by their fruit. I want you to think about it like this. Every time you have a thought, you are taking a coin and putting it into a machine. Eventually, a record player, eventually it's going to play a song. But you remember with them old school record players, unless you pick the song, and see with the algorithm, the universe, you can't pick the song that's going to come your way. But you better know when you put that chord in there, a song going to play. And I hope you like the song. Your thoughts, it's a quarter going into that machine. It's finna play you a nice song. Your emotions, that's a seed being planted into that fertile ground that's going to eventually become a fruit. Is it going to be rotten or is it going to be good to eat? Your action is going to have a ripple effect, and you will see you again because you are meeting you as always. The narcissist that you keep attracting, you are meeting yourself in the mirror. You need to ask yourself, what angle is it? Not why do I keep attracting them? What angle of myself reflects this? See, a lot of y'all think that y'all need to do shadow work and you need to do mirror work. And I'm not talking about the mirror work where you look in the mirror and you speak beautiful things about yourself. I'm speaking about you actually look in the mirror and seeing the angles of yourself that are reflecting your life. That's what I teach. You see, some of y'all spending too much time in the shadows and you need to look in the mirror. It's not in the dark. It's in the reflection. Because your behavior is directly correlated to what you believe about yourself. So the second part of this bar assessment that you are going to need to pass in order to heal your wound, which is going to impact your creativity, like chef's kiss, so that you can make more money. Because if you ain't creating in this economy, baby, you ain't going to thrive. And I just told y'all how they took away all the creative programming in schools years ago on purpose to make you slaves and workhorses and to disconnect you from your creative imagination. Because if you imagine too much, don't let the people get together and start imagining. Don't you let them get together and really start thinking. Now, don't you let them get together and start creating. It might be an uproar. Something may actually happen. Oh. Let's give them anxiety with all the TV shows and the television and the food, and let's poison everything, and then let's tell them, let's create problems and make them depend on us for the solution of those problems that we created. Yeah. All that. All that. Number 2, your ability to receive is a direct reflection of your ability to release. I'm going to say it again. Your ability to receive is a direct reflection of your ability to release. When's the last time you cried without apologizing as a woman? We will allow tears will flow from our eyes and we'll start apologizing for crying when that is a natural human reaction, especially for the feminine. And I don't think that women realize your inability to allow yourself to be free to cry is connected to your inability to actually have an orgasm. Because you can't release one way and think you're going to release in another way. You're blocked. Wives with husbands, you're blocked. You're blocked. You are not in a safe space to be able to release. Therefore, you can't release. I was having a conversation. No, actually, I was on a live with one of my friends who was also my former coach and my client at one point in time. And she was saying how scripture commands for men to love their wives, right? But it doesn't say in scripture for women to love their husbands. It commands for women to respect their husbands. And see, respect is very pivotal to a man because respect is more important to a man than love, which is why they command men to love us and us to respect them, which is why as a woman you should not marry a man that you cannot respect. And you cannot respect a leader because a man who is not a leader cannot lay a foundation for you to lean into. And if he can't create a foundation for you to lean into, it's going to be hard for you to receive, and you damn sure ain't finna be releasing to that husband. Okay? FYI. This is why you should marry men you respect, not men you want to mold into somebody you respect. Because you are not their creator, so you cannot fix them. So stop. You either can respect him as is or you cannot. If you can't respect, you release. See, you can't release. That's why you can't receive. That's why you ain't getting princess treatment and all that other stuff that you claim that you want, because you don't know how to release. You're trying to hold on to something and somebody who does not desire this with you. We hurt ourselves. We lie to ourselves. I want to get princess. You won't allow yourself to receive. You won't take care of yourself. You won't receive care from the one that created you. You won't receive instruction from the one that created you. You won't receive direction from the one that created you, but you're going to follow a man's direction. You won't allow yourself to receive self-care. You won't make time for yourself, but you got an expectation for a man to make time for you and to take care of you. The universal algorithm will not reward you with that because you are not an energetic match to receive care because you don't care about you. And the universal algorithm does not respond to the fake you that you put online. It's the real you, baby, behind closed doors. It's the true you in your thoughts. See, it's the energetic spiritual experience. You better understand that you are a spirit being having a human experience with the psychological aspects. And if you don't understand all three aspects of that within your womanhood, you're going to constantly be out of balance, which is going to impact who and what you attract to you. And what you magnetize, because we as women are naturally magnetic. But are you magnetizing what you want? Who you desire? The type of money you believe you deserve? Of course not. Because your ability to receive is a direct reflection of your ability to release. Y'all have been asking God to send people into your experience to help you and guide you on your journey, but then you meet people and your skepticism keeps you from investing. You will spend thousands of dollars on a purse, but then you will turn around and question someone that has a course for $9.97, even though you just got through praying and crying out to God to support you. This course seems like it's going to answer your question, but you need to see this person's credentials. You, oh ye of little faith. Baby, when people, let me tell y'all something. And y'all know I'm not new to this. I'm very true to this. I've been doing this for years. I don't answer and entertain women when they come in my inbox and try to ask me what are my credentials, even though I'm credentialed up. That's the crazy thing. I'm credentialed up. But my credentials is not why I'm here. That's the crazy part. The Most High is why I'm here. I'm on assignment. You either resonate in an alignment with that assignment or you not. But to try to prove my value, which is what you do. See, people want you to do what they do. People accuse you of things that they do. You made a subliminal post about me. The reason why you feel like I made a subliminal post about you when I don't subliminally post is because you subliminally post. You undercover cowardly do that. So because that is your standard, the expectation is that other people are going to do that as well. And that's good or bad. And I really want you to think about that for a second. People love to say, you should do this for me. I do it for you. That's how people feel on the other end too. That's how other people feel on the other end too. And you really should pay attention to that. You're holding on to something. You're holding a closed hand expecting to receive. It makes no sense. You can't think that you're going to ascend and you're not willing to invest. That doesn't work that way. In order to receive, you are to give. Y'all not paying attention to spiritual law, and it shows in your life. Scripture tells you it's better to give than to receive. I'm finna tell you why. I'm finna put you on game if you never know. So if you a tightwad, if you hold tight to everything, I'm holding on to this man, I'm holding on to this last money, I'm holding on to this job. If you one of them, I'm finna help you today. It tells you in Scripture, it's better to give than to receive. It also tells you in Scripture that you are to be a cheerful giver. Okay? It also tells you, whatever a man sows, God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, ye shall reap. Y'all see the pattern? One of the gifts that I have is I have the gift of sight. And I have the gift of sight in the form of patterns, and the Most High reveals things through me in patterns, and I'm able to see things that happen. Yeah. So when you think and you hear that, if you're a cheerful giver, if you give cheerfully, okay? If you give cheerfully, if you understand the principle that it's better to give than to receive, and you give without attachment, you will always receive in this life. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I live by. I'm telling you what I teach my clients. I'm telling you what works. And I'm telling you as a person who never got anything before I came to this realization. But do what you want to do. Let me go through these questions a little bit. Let me see. What happens when it's not reciprocated? So here's the thing. Discernment is very important. This is why I tell people, you can't be delusional if you don't have discipline or discernment. You can't be delusional if you have discipline. If you don't have discipline and you don't have discernment, you actually are destructive. You actually are in denial. You actually are damaging yourself when you do this. And I hate that people have came on TikTok and came on YouTube and came all over social media and have told people to be delusional without being detailed about the process. I am for sure delusional. I built a 6-figure business on something that people said I could never do out of nowhere, and it's crazy work. So I am extremely delusional. I am living a life as a digital nomad. I've lived in basically 13 different places in the last 15 months. I am extremely delusional. Please hear me. But I am extremely disciplined as a woman. I am extremely discerning as a woman. And that's why these things are able to be the way that they are. I don't invest in spaces where I don't feel that I am going to get a great return on my investment. So I don't have a problem with reciprocity. The minute I'm a natural giver by nature. But as a giver, you should have a threshold. Every woman should have a threshold as a giver. Every man should have a threshold as a giver. And you should not go over that. I don't care who the person is. Point blank, period, the end. Because if you don't have that, you will always end up being the woman who is resentful. And resentment makes you sick because it ruins your liver. And I ain't even finna get into that tea today. But just know, I ain't lying. You can go look it up for yourself. Okay? But you don't invest in spaces where you are not going to see a great return on your investment. When someone is, let's use this in the form of dating. If you are taking your time, which I don't recommend, but whatever. If you're taking your time and you're constantly you're contacting a person, and you're constantly the person that's initiating your time, and you're seeing that your time isn't being valued, you simply stop giving your time. You don't complain about it. That's where y'all be messing up at. Why you not doing this? Baby, cut all that. Men are action based. See, and that's another thing too. When you understand your feminine design and you understand how your brain works, you have left brain energy, which is masculine energy, and you have right brain energy, which is more of the feminine energy. You begin to become more logical as a woman, and you begin to understand how the masculine design operates. Therefore, you'll stop blaming the masculine design. You'll understand the masculine design, and you'll choose the proper masculine design that's principled and authoritative enough to lead you. That's true tea. But when you don't know self like that, you can't do that. And you're going to struggle in that area. And I'm just being honest with you. Okay? So, you don't give in spaces where you're not going to receive. Period. When you see that your gift is not being valued, baby, time is a gift. Energy, I don't know about y'all's, but I know about mine. My energy is a gift. My attention is a gift. My money is a gift. And if I don't feel like me giving this gift is going to be valued, I don't give the gift. You have to be able to define the type of energy that you have. One of the things about myself that I understand is that I have something I like to call life support energy. And I know this to be a fact. I have life support energy. I breathe life into people. I am a healer in all aspects of the word, baby. My presence, my essence is healing, from children to more. People can tell you, okay? But here's the thing that you have to understand when it comes down to that. I am also a person who has boundaries. I am also a person who is feminine and firm. I will tell you no with a smile. I have absolutely no problem. I'm a Sagittarius as well. I have absolutely no problem. None. Creating a clear boundary about what I'm not going to have occur and happen when it comes down to me. When it comes down to your time and you see it's not a good investment, stop investing your time. When it comes down to people pleasing, I saw somebody ask me about people pleasing. How do you stop people pleasing? Stop saying yes when you really know you need to say no. Period. Put yourself first. Rule number 1, put yourself first and always keep yourself there so you never fall off your square. Because people switch and change. Number 2, okay? I done forgot number 2 that quick. What I say, y'all? Number 1, put yourself first. I forgot the other one. Somebody tell me in the comments just that quick. But y'all, whoever said it, I'm going to come back and say that's number 2. That's it. Oh, okay. Number 1, put yourself first and never let yourself fall off that position. And number 2, stop saying yes to things that you want to say no to. If it's not a full body yes, it's a no. And you need to learn how to not care. Not care about people's feelings being hurt when it comes down to your well-being and your priority being first. Period. Some people ain't gonna like it. Some people gonna leave you alone. Some people gonna try to guilt trip you. That's why you gotta understand your identity, understand yourself, and stand on business and not care. They'll get it when they get in alignment with themselves, or if they don't get in alignment with themselves, then they never get it. Oh well, that's not your problem. It's not your business. You are here to make sure that you are here to do what you need to do, especially if you are somebody mama. If you out here and you somebody mama, you need to be first. So all that, I do everything for everyone, and I got kids, and I got this. Your responsibility, a privilege, you are giving a privilege to be able to bring these babies into the world. That's a privilege. That's a right. It's not a right. It's a privilege. Because everybody ain't got it. That's a privilege to be able to bring life in the form of a child. Because we all bring life, but not all of us bring life in the form of children. So when you bring life in the form of a child, it is your responsibility to fuel you so you can fill that role. If it has been a part of your existence to be a wife, you need to put yourself first, period. Because you need to fuel that woman who needs to fill that role. Because that's a role, baby. Marriage and motherhood. Don't nothing test your gangster like them two. So, people pleasing, that's out. Put yourself first. Stop saying yes to things that you know you need to say no to. If it's a no, it's a no. Oh well. Period. Release the need. And that's another thing too. Your ability to receive support is a direct reflection of your ability to release. You got to release the things that are holding you back so you can get the support that you need. Release the idea that you're a bad person because you tell somebody no. Release that idea so you can receive the rest you need. Release the idea that you have to do things to be found valuable in order to receive the support that you want. This whole release and receive game is the truth. And if you don't do it as a woman, you're going to suffer. If you don't learn how to release so that you can receive, you're going to become resentful. The end. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care how you slice it. You're going to be resentful. And it's going to be your fault. And you're going to be blaming everyone who didn't do it, who left you, and they're going to move on with their life. They don't care because you should have cared about you. And you attract people who don't care about you when you don't care about you. When you don't care about you, they don't care. You invite people not to care. That's an invitation. Number 3, when it comes down to this bar assessment, we went over the behavior, we went over the ability, we went over the receptivity aspect, and now we're going to go into the aspect of results. Your results are the fruit of your action or inaction. I'll say it again. Your results are the fruit of your action or your inaction. I told you the universe is an algorithm. It responds to you. It's the largest responder ever. It responds to your thoughts. It responds to your emotions. It responds to your effort, to your actions. It responds to these things. The reason why you have not is because you sow not, because God is not mocked. Why would God give you something so great? Why would the Most High put in your lap something so amazing when you won't even do the bare minimum? And the bare minimum is being consistent. And I know that's probably going to shackle a couple of folks, but your bare minimum is being consistent with what you claim you believe. That's your bare minimum. Your bare minimum is slick obedience. Ain't that crazy? That's your bare minimum. To literally just follow the plan. But no, you don't want to follow the plan. You think you know better than the plan. You doing what you want to do. Saying what you want to say. Living how you want to live. And wondering why ain't nothing working the way you want it to work out. It's crazy, ain't it? Bananas even. Your results are the fruit of your action or inaction. You are not becoming the better version of yourself because you are not investing in becoming the better version of yourself. You're too busy buying makeup and doing external practices to make yourself look better instead of being better. That's women, a lot of women's problem. We invest a lot of our currency in our external beauty instead of our internal beauty, which is why your external beauty gets wasted. And your external beauty is a form of currency. That's the crazy part. A woman's beauty is currency. It truly is. And I talk about this in one of my classes. A woman's beauty is currency. And because a lot of women spend so much time investing in the external beauty, when they realize that pretty ain't just enough, because you actually got to have something else to be able to sustain. You need sustenance. You need substance to sustain. That's why they treat you like an airhead. That's why they mess over you like you dumb. Because they just look at you like you're just there. Because you've spent all of your investment in your outer and none within. So the only value you have is external. And when that external beauty fades, because that is what it does, you will no longer be valuable to that company, that person, that opportunity, that experience, because it was solely based on your external value, because that is all that you invested in when it came down to yourself. And that's why you can't sustain relationships and a multitude of other things. Because yes, beauty is a pretty privilege is real. Beauty currency is a real thing. Like all of these things are very important. And I teach these things. However, the main principle of what I teach is that your internal experience creates your external experience. What's internal is going to come out. There's not a secret of the soul that the behavior is not going to reveal. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. There's not a behavior in your soul that's not going to come out in some form of action at some point, which is why you should be working on your soul, because it is the most beautiful thing. It is the most beautiful, and it is the highest form of beauty currency, actually. You have to start there, because it's when you start there, then you understand the principle and the purpose of keeping the external together and where it needs to be. The reason why you can't be consistent is because you don't understand why you should even be being consistent. And consistency is the bare minimum. And because you can't meet the bare minimum to sow into this universal algorithm, you are receiving the bare minimum, the barrel of the, like the bottom of the barrel treatment in this life. But this is the experience that you're creating because no action or taking the wrong action. Your results right now, your timeline, your news, everything that's on your IG feed, everything that's on your TikTok feed that's showing up, everything that's on Facebook, these are things that are similar to things that you have engaged in. So it figured you like this, so then you like this too. So it's feeding you that. And because that's what you're engaging in, that's what's feeding your soul. Y'all not paying attention to your feed, your timeline. Y'all better start paying attention to these words and understanding that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and your word lords over your life. There's power of life and death in the tongue. When you start paying attention to these words that are being used, you will pay attention to a pattern. Feed. Let me break down feed real quick. Let's talk about your Instagram feed. Your Instagram feed consists of things that you have liked and you have commented on and you have engaged in. And they found similar things that are close to your taste according to the things that you've already tasted thus far, right? So we want to continue to feed you according to your taste. Let me feed you according to your taste. Oh, you don't create your own timeline in life? You're not paying attention to your own timeline in life? Let me create a timeline for you so you can create a new reality. This is your timeline. So let me put it for so you can repeat the timeline. You can repeat the cycle. You can repeat the information. This is your timeline. Start paying attention to these things. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that the box that we watch is called a television, because it tells a vision. What vision is being told on your box? Or better yet, what vision is being told on the channel? And didn't you have to get on the guide to find the channel so that you're on the right frequency? So we can give you live television. All I'm telling, my position is to inspire you to think and to decide what action you're going to take. If you want to break out the matrix, hey, because some people like it. Some people like it. Some people cool here. Some people chilling. I ain't mad. But for those who know that they were created for more, you can have more. You can create more. How can I create more? I'm going to tell you specifically a lot more of this in my masterclass that I'm having on next Thursday on 6/6. I'm having a masterclass called the Psychocentric Leadership Masterclass for amazing women who are ready to get in the natural rhythm of their cycles so that they can actually create and be more in the creative space so they can thrive in this $250 billion projected creative economy. These women are not going to be working hard to make their money. These women are going to adopt the principle of understanding how to live in lean. I have a live in lean principle. It's called How You Can Live in the 80/20 Space. Okay? You can click the link in the bio to get access to the course. It's $222. You can get it with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. And I also have other courses and services in there you guys can check out. But the Live in Lean principle is 80/20 skill that I teach women in business. That's very important if you want to sustain in business. If you want to keep going, if you just want to start a business, get a cool $100,000 and get out, I ain't talking to you. But if you actually want to create a business, that supports your lineage, that puts your family, in a better position, and you want to leave a legacy to where your name just continues to ring because of the amazing work that you do authentically, then this is going to be the masterclass for you. But the Lean and Live principle is this, and I'm just gonna give you a summary of it. The femininity course, you can access it. You give me if you want the femininity math course, you DM me and I'll send you the link to be able to get it, because you can get it. I just don't advertise it. The 80/20 rule works like this. Okay. 80% of the time you need to be in right brain energy, which is your feminine energy. 20% of the time you need to be in left brain energy, which is your masculine energy. Okay? Here's the breakdown of that 80%, because you need to understand the breakdown of both. But before I give y'all this breakdown, let me give y'all this last piece of the bar assessment that I didn't give it to you. Of course, we know your behavior is directly correlated to what you believe about yourself. Your ability to receive is a reflection of your ability to release, and your results are the fruit of your action or inaction. But in order for you to start thriving, you're really going to have to heal your womb. And this is when you hear people say things like, oh, you need to heal this aspect of your chakra so you can do this and do that. So I have taken the chakra system and compared it to scripture. I've taken the chakra system, I've compared it to science, and I have figured out basically the bottom line. Because if you know me, you know that I will tell you there are laws that govern this universe that the Most High has in place. And one of those laws is the universal law of oneness. And everything is connected. It is a derivative of what the Creator created, but people start putting a twist on it. So when you think about the chakra system, before you call it witchcraft, let me put you on game. When you line up the chakra system according to what they're saying, it's basically your endocrine system in science. Your endocrine system is made up of a system of hormones that keep you balanced. Okay, this is everyone. Specifically, I'm talking about women though. This keeps you balanced. When the endocrine system is off, this is why women have issues in the areas of diabetes, have issues in the areas of polycystic ovarian and other womb type of issues. Okay, I'm speaking as a woman who had these issues, who went to the doctor 20 years ago as a 20-year-old, and they told me, hey, you're diagnosed with polycystic ovarian. I walked out of there crying, depressed my whole life and all of that. I stopped eating beef and pork. Body still was acting crazy. I had a spiritual awakening in 2017 after my best friend died. Got extremely close with the Most High. Took 6 months and really obeyed and listened to what the Most High was telling me to do according to my body. My cycle has been coming consistently for the last 7 years. No issue, no problem, no nothing. I didn't have to do any of the things that those people said that I had to do. So I'm telling you this as a person who has been in that space. Womb issues have a root. And what I need you to understand about things like cysts, fibroids, and all these other things, these things are blocks. In order for blocks to form, even when you think about blocks in the river, there has to be a build up. These things are not happening overnight. It is a build up over time. And some of these things, these things have been building up since childhood for some of us, because some of us have been imbalanced since then. So it's very important for you to understand when you hear people say things and they're talking about balancing in that aspect, what that is speaking to balancing your hormones and your endocrine system, okay? And how scripture falls into the place is, when it comes down to this system, is because all of these things are rooted in belief. When you think about certain chakras or certain areas of your body that are off course, it is due to a misaligned belief that is attached to that. For example, okay, in order to start I'll say this, in order to start thriving, i.e. enhance your creativity, which is going to increase your income, which is going to support you in creating the life you really desire, you have to start the process of, number one, balancing your adrenals. You'll hear people refer to that as their root chakra. Your adrenals is basically, because we're all connected to the elements. We're made of dirt, we're made of water, we're made of fire, and we're made of air. All of these things are in scripture. All of these things are very clear. So because we're made up of those things, you have to remember that these things are all within your body and they're grounding. So when we're talking about the adrenals and we're talking about the ground, that root area, you need to ground that and get secure and stable. So what that looks like is rooting yourself in faith, which is the 50% of the 80% that you need to be living in as a woman. You need to know that the Most High sent you here with a vision, and provisions come with that vision. Because if you understand that provisions come with the vision that has been given to you by the one that created you, you will not be worried about how you're going to get paid. You are going to show up consistently the way you need to show up. And you understand the universal algorithm is going to reward you sowing the seeds of you showing up and delivering the consistent value that you were instructed to give. That is how you're going to get your reward. That is how you're going to get your fruit. That is a big part of how I built my business from the ground up to 6 figures. You asked me how I did it. I just told you. I consistently show seeds and I show up. I am obedient. I had to heal and ground myself in the stability and truth of knowing that the one that created me got my back, because it literally says the righteous will never be found begging for bread. It literally says that the Most High will take care of all of my needs according to his riches and glory. Why am I worried about money? When you worry about money, you become anxious and you throw your adrenals off, which puts you in a position to stress your body out, which invites things like illness, like blood pressure issues and weight issues into your body, because you are stressing out those areas, and your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys, which is why people end up in dialysis, because their kidneys blow, because the adrenals. You thinking it's funny that people have stressed you into a headache. You joke about, oh, you're going to run my blood pressure up. That's not a joke. That's not a game. If you don't ground yourself, that's earth. You're not grounded in earth. You're not grounded in truth, is what that's saying. That root, that's earth. And because you're not grounded in that earth, in that truth, in that reality of the one that created you, baby, that's why you out here whoring yourself out for money, because you don't understand that you are secure enough within you're not secure enough within yourself to know that you are taken care of already. So you looking for somebody else to take care of you. So you don't enhance your gifts, which actually can amplify the value externally, which makes you more attractive to more opportunities, which brings in more money, which puts you in more positions so you can choose better and wisely from the company, because you're now in different spaces. You're in elevated spaces and places with people with the same mindset. Why? All because you did your work by grounding yourself and trusting. You understand that before I became a 6-figure business owner, I had to get in the mindset of what would I do and adopt the habits of what I would do every single day as that person. And when I became a 6-figure business owner, I wrote down, okay, you got 6 figures. Now what? Because you've been doing this since you had 5. Now what? What else? What do you need to do and be positioned to be multi-6? What do you need to do to be in position? What is that woman's habits? What does she look like? What is she doing every day? I'm embodying her now. So when you see her show up in a little while, don't say I ain't tell you. When you see me quantum jump into her even further, don't even trip. That's how it goes. You have to ground yourself in that. Faith is 50% of your 80. The other 30% is you being receptive. You can't receive it if you lack belief. It tells you in James that if you go before God and you ask in prayer for something and you don't believe, that he ain't gonna hear you. So yeah, God don't be hearing everybody's prayers. But God honors law though. That's why you should know spiritual law. Obedience to spiritual law is very key in this life. Law is always honored. Your prayers ain't gonna always be heard though, because you got doubt in your heart. Because you got doubt, you can't receive. 50% of your live experience is in belief. which is a huge part of your imagination. And the other aspect is, like I said, receptiveness, because the other part is your emotional capacity, your ability to even receive what you say you want. Y'all ain't living and leaning. See, a lot of y'all spend 80% of the time in the masculine left brain, which is decision making and action taking, when you only supposed to lean over there for 20% of the time of your life, of the day. 20% of my business, 25, my business is 75% feminine, 25% masculine. 25%. Which is why I'm able to attract opportunity and be able to get business with ease, because of the way my business is set up. It's the way I teach my clients to set their businesses up. To receive, because receiving is feminine. But in order to receive, order and structure has to be set up, which is the masculine, which is requires that decision making and the action taking. But because you spend your whole life, and now I'm going to talk about, I'm going to get on it. When you see women who are constantly living 80% in the masculine, which is the action taking and the decision making, this is why you attract people who build off you, because you are the solution. You are the person with all the answers. That's why men who are not actualized are so attracted to you, because they use your masculine energy so they can grow, and then they go give that masculine energy to a feminine woman, because you live in your head with overthinking and by doing, because that's your identity instead of being, which is why people don't desire to be with you, because you won't be with you enough to be you. When you spend the majority of your time in action making and action taking and decision making, you attract more right-brainers. You attract more people in their feminine energy, because guess what? The people in their feminine energy are looking for structure. And the people who are in their feminine energy, the people in their feminine energy, men or women, they're looking for structure. And if you are the structure, you are the action taking, you are the decision making. Little miss, he told you he want a business. I didn't see this post, but I heard about it. It was a post apparently that came out that said, how much money have you ever given a man? And for me to see women say things like $10,000, $25,000, $5,000, he wanted to start a business, so I did that. Baby, he was attracted to your action taking and your decision making. And all of these women also said that these men left them alone after that, because they will use your masculine energy because they may be lacking, and then they will turn around and they will provide it to a woman who he's in her feminine energy. So when you take him to that restaurant to put him on, and he take the next girl to that restaurant to put her on, yeah, that right there. You go to your favorite spot, you see him in there with the next one, and you put him on. Next time you see him, he teaching the knowledge that you taught him. Baby, that's because you ain't living and leaning in the right principle, sweetheart. You ain't in the right set. You leaning. You living where you should be leaning. And you leaning where you should be living. Okay? The next thing is the Survive to Thrive method, which I also be teaching in a masterclass. It's basically how to use... Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't give you that second part. My bad. After you ground your adrenals, okay, which is to secure yourself so you can create stability, you have to then balance your gonads, which is your creative area, which is your womb, okay? Because your womb is literally your internal GPS. It lets you know where you at. If you got flow, you're in the good. If it's a block, it's letting you know that something is off, okay? So when it comes down to that area of healing, the gonad area, which some people would say heal your sacral, that means you need to be open. This is why you will hear women say that trauma is stored in the womb, and they would tell you to do things like activities like dancing. I'm a person that does dance rituals. I used to do a whole lot. I'm doing them a lot more now. But where you open your hips and different things like that to be able to release the stress, which that puts you in position to be open to receive. Because the way our reproductive organs operate, in order for us to function, we are here to receive. So in order to receive, you have to be what? Open. So that's another reason why women are not experiencing flow into their life, because they're not open. Yes, it is. They're not open. Okay? So you have to not only ground and heal your adrenals, but you also have to heal the gonad area so you can be open, which that is a water element aspect. Okay? So when we're talking about the womb, we're talking about water, because remember, we're talking about releasing and receiving. So think about it like this: grounding, stability for your adrenals, creating flow in the area of your womb so you can create the life you want. See, it all goes together. God really don't be lying. He know what he be talking about when he be telling you to do certain things, okay? For real. Just we're trying to get there. And then the third thing is this. When you'll hear people talk about healing your solar plexus, that's connected more so to your pancreas. So if you look at it from a science space, your pancreas has 2 jobs. And anybody who's ever had 2 jobs before, 2, 3, and I had 2, 3 jobs before when I was back in the day when I didn't understand, you got to be kind of bold and confident to decide you're going to take on that type of task. And so your pancreas is that kind of bold. Your pancreas has 2 very important jobs. One is for the endocrine system, and one of them has to do with digestion. So in order to operate and do these 2 jobs, you have to have a certain level of confidence. So in order to heal the area of solar plexus so that you can execute, which is the fire element of things, okay? In order for you to do that, you have to heal your self-concept and understanding yourself so that you can operate from a space of confidence. That's your identity, so that you can execute, okay? So in order for you to thrive and come out of survival mode from your womb, you basically have, if you hear people speaking, you have to heal those areas. The adrenals, so you can ground, earth. The gonads, so you can flow, water. The pancreas, so you can execute, fire. Okay, so when you hear people talking about, those are the lower level chakras of what people speak on when they talk about that. It's that right there. If you don't heal that, that's basic survival. If you don't work on and balance those 3 areas, that is basic survival. You haven't even come up to the heart, which is connection, because then that goes into the heart chakra and all that, right? That's connection. So you can't even get into a space of connection when you literally are not secure, you're not open, and you're not confident. What kind of relationship you gonna build? Y'all see how all this flows? Everything I give you gonna come from scripture, science, and psychology. It literally tells you, if you want to create something, so a man thinking in his heart, so is he. Write the vision down and make it plain. That's the creation aspect. Taking action. Faith without works is dead. Y'all, all this stuff is very clear, but you have to do your work. If you really want to create the life you want, you're going to have to heal those aspects of yourself. Okay? Now, one of the methods that I'm going to be teaching you to support you in healing those aspects of yourself in the masterclass next week is going to be the Survive to Thrive method, as well as the Lean and Live principle. The Surviving to Thrive method is using the ability to use ancient wisdom. And for me, that's scripture. Use ancient wisdom to ground, which is to create stability and security, which positions you to create flow, which removes blockages, and you'll see fruitful results, which is your rewards, without burning out, which actually creates a life of ease. Okay, in that order. So if that's what you want and that's what you want, you need to be in a masterclass next week. It's $222. You can get a recliner, Affirm, and Afterpay. The link is in the bio. What questions do you guys have? I have to go in a little while. I can't do a lot of questions because I have to go do a makeup lesson with someone. I don't even do makeup no more, but I told this baby that I was going to do a lesson with her. So yeah, my prayer is that this really, really edified you and supported you in thinking and really tapping into the space of understanding how important it is for you to heal your womb so that you can create. Because, like I said, there's a $250 billion creative economy on the line, and I'm just trying to help you get your peace. Because some of y'all worried about men and you need to be worried about your money. For real. Some of y'all worry about things y'all don't need to be worried about. And I'm just telling you the truth. How do you take action in your feminine energy? The feminine doesn't take action. The masculine aspect of yourself takes action. The feminine positions herself by getting in alignment. That's what she does. Even when it comes down to the whole thing about shooting your shot, like I'm not a woman. You won't ever catch me shooting my shot to me. Like, I think when I was an undergrad, I think I did something, but I felt so slow. Listen, it was never again. It's not for me. So if you were to use it in that mind frame, even when it comes down to, like, let's say shooting your shot, I don't believe it's smart for women to shoot that shot, but I do think it's smart for women to align to get themselves in position. I know how to position myself for you to see me without even speaking. So that is activating my feminine energy. So you don't want to take action. You more so want to activate your feminine energy where you're feminine, where you are supported. It attracts support. So you want to activate your feminine energy so that it can attract what it is that you actually want, instead of you actually going and doing it. Because when you go and you do it and you don't get the result that you're looking for, you're mad, which is understandable because that's the masculine principle, which is why when men invest in something, they want a return on their investment. So it makes perfect sense why you mad. You just out of body with what you just did. And because you did that, you get a return that you wanted, and now you feel dumb. We get it. But it's because you went outside of yourself. You went outside of yourself because you don't know how to activate that part of yourself, which is cool. If you don't know how to activate it, come see me. I got you. Okay? So let me see. I'm going back to these questions. I'm missing. When you're healing, how to attract people? I guess my question to you is, do you want to attract people in the current state that you're in? Are you comfortable attracting people at the vibrational state that you're at? And only you know the vibrational state that you're at. And if you don't understand vibrational scales, I encourage you to go and look up on Google the scale that says emotional vibrational scale. And I would assess to see where you are the majority of the time. If you are on the lower levels of that scale, I'm going to be honest with you, whatever you attract is going to be destructive, because you can only destroy from low level vibrations. You can't create from that space, not healthily, at least. So it just really depends on the space that you're in, and what type of people are you trying to attract. Are you trying to attract people to support you in this healing process? What exactly is it that you're looking for? It's a couple of different factors that go into that. So I can answer that directly, if that makes sense. Yes, it is going on the tube. What does painful cycles mean? Painful cycles can mean a multitude of things. What I will ask you is that when it comes down to if your cycle is painful, I will ask you, are you in sync with your menstrual cycle? If you are not, I'm having this class, and I definitely recommend that you come to the class or purchase one of the products that I have where I talk about this. What else? And also, I would check on your emotional state the majority of the time, because certain emotions do have an impact, and certain levels of stress do have an impact on your cramps, how long your periods are, how short they are, if they even come. So it's a multitude of factors. You would have to do a complete, full assessment of everything. One, my recommendation would be going to your doctors and making sure you're getting all of your blood work, asking for specific hormonal tests and different things like that. And then I also would put myself on a reset where I would consume plants and fruit. And then I would slowly, after 30, 45 days, slowly start to add different things to my body. And I would pay attention to how my cycle responds to that. And like I said, I also would be in sync with the 4 phases of my cycle, which is very important. And I would be eating according to those cycles, working out according to those cycles, giving myself the nutrients and different things I need during those cycles. So it's a multitude of ways and things. Okay. So welcome. When I'm in a relationship, what examples are of being in your feminine for him to do? Be quiet. I know this sounds so crazy, but be quiet. Like really, I be trying to tell y'all. The more you focus on yourself, the more attractive you become. Because not only are you focusing on yourself, so you glowing and you this and you that, and you're already attractive, but people want to know what you're doing. They want to be in your business. They want to. You become such a mystery because, like, why are you not saying nothing? Like, what's going on? When you mind your, and that's why people say, I ain't even do nothing and I got put in it. Baby, you could be minding your business. People gonna see about you. That's true tea. And when you mind your own business and you just start doing, you really start paying careful attention on you and focus on you and making sure you look good and making sure you smell good and making sure you feel good and making sure you happy. Okay, why are you so happy? What's going on? I want some of this happiness. Well, what you been doing? See, baby, I listen. I keep them coming to the yard because I mind my business. When you see about you, other people want to see about you. That's the best thing I can tell you with that. When you are seeing about you, when they really are invested in you. That's key words now. If they are really invested in you, they are going to want to see about you. Just probably even more than you seeing about yourself, the more you are into yourself. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. Is confidence something that comes and goes, or is confidence something that grows as you get older? I don't think age has anything to do with it. I know a lot of people say, oh, when you turn 40, this happens. Oh, when you turn this happens. I just think everybody has that point in their life where they just get tired of listening to other people. And or they get tired of worrying about what other people are going to say, and they're just going to stand in the fullness of themselves. For some people, it takes a near-death experience. For some people, it takes age. For some people, it just takes, I just woke up today, and that's what we finna do. So it's different for everyone. But what I can tell you is that confidence is an ongoing journey. So it's something that you're going to consistently work at. It's not it's at every new level you have to assess it, because there's a confidence that you have when you're single, and sometimes there's a different aspect of confidence that you have once you get married. There's a level of confidence you have before you become a mother, and then there's a different kind of confidence that you have to develop after becoming a mother. So it's just really different. It's something that continues to grow as you grow. It's all about you not losing a hold of you. And as long as you don't lose a hold of you, their confidence is going to continue to elevate because you're constantly focusing and investing in you. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Let's see. I don't believe in fake it till you make it. I believe in pouring to you. I believe in pouring till you can actually give more. And I feel like, and when I say I believe in pouring to you until you can actually give more, what I mean is that you have poured so much into your cup that there is an amazing amount of overflow, baby, that you can't help but to give. That is how I live my life. I do not go live. I do not interact with people. I do not do anything if I cannot give from the overflow. If there is no overflow, you will not see me. And I am unapologetic about that. If there is no overflow for me, because I understand that people see me and people recognize my gifts. So if I don't want to be bothered, I'm just going to stick to myself and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But I understand that I'm not going to fake it till I make it. I'm going to pour until I can give more. And if I can't give more, then guess what? I ain't giving nothing. I ain't faking nothing. Period. Why do we dim our light when others come around, even though our light is stronger? Belief issue. If you're having a belief issue, I tell people to get the Feminine Fusion bundle, because you need to get in alignment with your beliefs, because that's going to change your life. You'll learn how to create passive income. You'll learn how to get in alignment in a space of your spirituality, and you'll learn to get in alignment with your feminine design, because that's how you build the confidence to stand in your light. I don't care who in the room. I can walk in a room, Beyonce in the room, that's cool. I could walk in a room, the most amazing, beautiful, whoever can be in the room, I'm still in the room. And somebody in that room is still going to feel my energy in the room. Because the light that I have, it may not be the white light that this person has, but it's a purple light. And it's going to allure, it's going to pull, it's going to snatch, it's going to attract, it's going to magnetize. This is what I know about myself when I walk into any room without me even speaking. Like I said the other day, when I enter into a room, you feel my energy first, you smell me second, you see me, and then you hear me. I make an impact before I even utter one word. And that's what you have to understand about your energy. So, dim my light for what? Who are these people? They didn't create me, so they can't berate me. Society is a creation of man. Man is a creation of the creator. The only one who can put me on my back is the one that created me. Everybody else, bye. Dim my light for what? Raise yours up. Turn yours on. So it's because we don't believe and we don't understand our identity. And if that's a struggle, get the Feminine Fusion bundle. You can get that for $444. It's amazing. And you can get a recliner firm and afterpay. The class is $222 for the psycho-syncing class, or the psychocentric leader class. How do we deal with shame and embarrassment of reacting emotionally? Just don't do it again. We all did it. Baby, I done drove to folks' house from the bust out windows. Lord rest my best friend who drove me over there in the middle of the night in the rain. I mean, we all have had these things. Pay attention to what got you out of character. Deal with those issues and put yourself back in body. Put yourself back in body. And if you don't know how to do that, get the support so that you can get back in body. Because you acting out of body is doing nothing but making you a repellent to everything that you think you want. Okay? Let's see. How do we step out in faith to do what God called us to do and let go of fear? You just do. I left my job at 35. It was a good government job, let the people tell it, with good insurance and all the other stuff that people like to dangle over your head. And I trusted God. Because what I realized is that what I was doing was not fulfilling me. It actually was a scam. Like most of these corporations that act like they care about people or kids. Most of them are scams and numbers and human trafficking. It's just a bunch of stuff going on. I'm going to say that. But I was very trusting. And I'm one of those type of people, when I feel like I hear from the Most High, I trust that, and I don't doubt it, and I don't listen to people. So a lot of people had jokes, a lot of people had stuff to say, but when I did it, everybody needed me, because guess what? Everybody got locked in the house due to COVID. And who was the one on Instagram doing her work? Who was the one, being a self-care coach, supporting people in that space, and making my salary back real quick from that old job that was only paying me $30,000? Made my $30,000 real quick back by not listening to people and trusting what the Most High placed within me. Because like I said, it comes down to those things, like you have to become rooted in your beliefs. You're either going to believe what the Most High told you, or you're going to believe what people say. And I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person, I don't want to get upstairs and have a complaint or be like, I didn't do what you told me to do because I was scared of people, or I was scared of this, or I was scared of that. I trust that this vision that you've given me, there's a provision. And I can tell you, as a 6-figure business owner later, there definitely was a provision. There's still a provision for even the transitions that I'm making now. There's still a provision for that too. So I'm not even worried about it. And the thing about it is, it's not about you. Like when I talk about the creator economy and the $250 billion projected, which I believe is very valid and accurate based on the patterns of what I've seen, it's not for you to get up there and just be like, oh, I'm just trying to get my piece about it. It's about you understanding that all you have to do is really be who you were created to be in the fullness of that, and opportunity is going to follow you the more you are authentically aligned with that. Money follows value. There's value in authenticity because there's a lack of originality happening in the world. So if you are able to stand in the space, in the gap, and do what you need to do, then you are going to see fruit from that. But you have to be a sower. If you aren't sowing, you aren't going to receive. So you have to make the decision to full-fledged step if that's what the Most High is telling you to do. And you know that without a vision, the people would perish. So if you got a vision, why would you perish? Stick to the vision. And if I can support you, make sure you DM me. Probably products or services or anything or coaching that I can do to support you. This is my last year of coaching, so directly with women, I only will be coaching mainly experts next year in a different space. And you'll have courses and stuff you can get from me, but you won't be able to get me as much. And I also will be having in-person retreats. So, and those are not going to be like large. Those are going to be really serious with the women who are serious. Okay. All right. I've always believed the same thing. I feel like faking it. Yeah, it's no point. Period. Yay. I'm so excited, Soraya. Yep, grab your. I've seen a couple of people purchasing tickets. Congratulations, y'all have been buying these tickets up. I've been seeing. I see them in the comments. I mean, I see them coming through at the top. I reached a point when I cry in the shower. I feel so bad. Oh, you don't feel bad for crying, baby. Crying is a release, and just know when we're released, it's almost time to receive. How do we fix our unconscious actions? Do you record yourself? I have a course where I teach you how to reprogram your mind. That's in the same course I was talking about that says the Feminine Fusion course. I have a course in there, how to reprogram your mind to achieve any goal. You have to uproot the programming that you have and you have to reprogram with something else. Like when your phone does an update, what it's doing is pushing out the old programming so it can run off the new programming. That's what has to happen on the inside of your mind. The computer was built off the human mind, off the brain. The hard drive is like the brain. Like all of these things, you got to understand things are not original. So yeah, but you can learn more directly in detail how to do that. Let's see. No problem. Okay, I'm gonna take one more question. All right, what are some examples of giving without people pleasing? Giving without people pleasing is basically giving from the overflow. There's really not any examples I can give you. What you can do is just follow the spiritual principle of giving. If you can't give cheerfully, don't give. If this is your last, you ain't gonna be able to be cheerful about that giving because you're gonna have an attachment to the fact that that's your last because you're already attached to it. So when you give your last to somebody else and they don't give you your last or they don't give you appreciation for you giving your last, you're gonna be pissed off. So you don't give unless you can be cheerful. That's rule number one. Number two, you understand the principle of giving, that it's better to give than to receive. So if you're ready to receive, then freely give. Every time I get something, I give, baby. I give scholarships, I give out money, I give out a whole bunch of things that people will never even know that what I do because I believe in the giving principle, which is why I am always receiving and I will always receive. I will always receive as long as I walk this earth. I don't care what condition this world goes to. The Most High will always make sure I receive because I will always give cheerfully and I always receive, period. So you got to understand, one, if you can't be a cheerful giver, don't give. Understand the principles of giving and make sure you have a threshold as a giver. That's how you don't people please. And most importantly, remember that you are here to please the one that created you. You are not here to please man. So when you try to please man, you will always find yourself confused and off balance because man is never pleased because we always want more. Okay? All right. All right, y'all. I've got to go because I got a lot to do. Congratulations to those who have purchased theirs. I will see you guys on next week. I am going to be tapping into next week. What's my topic next week? Oh, hold on. I got it on my big computer. Let me see. I didn't put it in my notes. No, please. Da-da-da. So, yeah. So next week I'm going to be talking, the whole week is basically going to be breaking free from stagnation. So I'm going to be talking to high performing women on how they can break free from stagnation. We're going to be talking about overcoming feelings of being stuck in your identity, mastering your emotions, and transforming stress into strength. Those are the three areas that I'm going to be focusing on. So, all right. I got to go. I hope that y'all have an amazing evening. Thank y'all so very much. Remember, self-care is a key fundamental of every single relationship because you set the tone of how people treat you and the way you treat yourself. So you should treat yourself exceptionally well. And then make sure that you click the link in the bio to be able to access any services or any products or different things like that. And for those who are joining me next week, I can't wait because it's going to be my last like masterclass where I'm dealing with anything in regard to that. A lot of them are going to be set on training the women that I am going to be training who are going to be doing my work in my absence. I'll be training 10 women before the year is out. If you want more information about that program, please know that is a 4-figure investment before you even inbox me about it. It also is going to turn into a 5-figure investment the later that you wait, probably towards the last quarter. So if you are interested in that program, make sure that you DM me so that you can get the feminine design and embodiment certification in order to coach. Okay? All right, y'all, I'm gone. Have a great evening. Peace.